So Adam, I don't know how to approach this. So the network sent me an email because you refused to respond to their emails.
I'm sorry.
They want me to remind you that the network owns As the Book Turns,
What?
Fantasy Booking,
I mean,
NUA. I don't know why they would brag about owning NUA. It's garbage. But they want me to remind you that if you don't start playing ball and following the rules, they will remove you and you won't have access to these shows.
the network, as
Yes.
in Zop Gaming.
Yes.
The YouTube channel Zop Gaming is that I own it. I control it. What
Then
the
why
hell
you send
are you
me
talking about?
Why'd you send me this email then?
I didn't send an email. Who the hell sends email anyway? I mean, I'd never send any. No. The only other person that has access to the email is Tim. Did you send yourself that email?
I cannot confirm or deny at this time that I'm the one who sent this email.
Oh, okay. Wait a Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You know what time it is. That's right. It's As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And this week, what do you got, Tim?
We actually got news this week.
Holy no!
We've actually had
What?
some big news stories break this week.
Okay, all right.
Ironically,
all right.
but we gotta do the ratings first.
I mean, I love running down and seeing how well shows are being watched. You know, it's a pastime of mine.
I love seeing how bad WWE's ratings are doing.
They are and aren't. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting last Friday, because we always record on Thursdays. Last Friday, SmackDown 1.917.
Yep, it's down.
Respectable. It is down, but respectable.
No, it's not respectable.
It's respectable.
For Fox.
It's a near 2 million.
They wanted a 3.
I know.
It's
I know.
not respectable. It's ironic that the fact that this one is down and Raw stayed the same.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
Raw is sitting at a pretty 1.82 on Monday,
That's not pretty.
which is only like 3,000 more than the week before.
Yeah, it's
It's just me.
gonna be
It's
interesting.
literally a buh.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the ratings do as the summer months come.
Exactly.
They always go down.
It always falls out during the summer. I mean, television in general always fell during the summer. Families are out doing stuff. People are doing things.
That's the reason why, for the longest time, the summer months, you only had reruns of the previous season on TV.
Mm-hmm. Or stuff in syndication at that point.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like the last season was re-airing during the summer,
and
before the new season starts.
And I do remember specials.
Well, yeah, but that was rare during the summer.
Miniseries, stuff like that.
But then all of a sudden, in the last few years, we started getting seasons of time periods. You had the fall, you have a winter season, and now you have the summer stuff going on over the summer.
I like the idea.
I don't understand why we didn't happen sooner, but hey, it happened.
Oddly enough,
more content.
The British had this. The BBC basically had been doing this for the longest time.
Not surprised.
That and doing limited series.
It's not surprised that the United States once again was behind the times on something.
I mean, they were ahead on the times by doing an ongoing series.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about this by constantly having, not just doing a one-time period during the school year, winter, when people are inside. Yeah,
we have as a culture overall, we have a weird, like, school time harvest, like, winter months that we do things in, and then during the summertime we're just like, you know what, it's too hot to sit inside, go do something.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. But with Fox apparently really trying to get WWE to get fans to come back, because I think that probably the ratings will go up for that.
It could.
I think the first few shows, the ratings will go up some because it's fans.
It depends on how you tell the stories.
But it's really going to be the stories, which WWE sucks at.
They've been very bland.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's be
yeah,
honest.
no.
Roman Reigns is the best thing going in WWE right now with his storyline.
Well, okay, there's two great things going on in WWE right now, character-wise.
Well, okay.
Roman Reigns,
Yep.
probably the best work he's done. I mean,
No.
not in ring, character work. His character is probably the best we've ever seen.
Well, yeah, but it's also best in-ring work we've ever seen.
That too. And the other one is The Fiend,
Nope.
who we haven't seen. The Fiend is hot still.
No, he's not.
Merch,
Merch, yes.
merch, and people talking about him.
But Vince doesn't know what to do with it.
exactly.
And he's keeping him. Like a report came out that they're keeping him off TV. They want to try to push the whole Alexa Bliss angle. Like, it's just Vince doesn't understand how Bray Wyatt, who's a short, fat guy, can be getting over.
Also, oddly enough, another person that's been getting over for quite some time, and then purposely, seemingly thrown to the void, Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Another short, fat guy.
Yep.
No offense to either one of you. I am also, under Vince's idea, I am a short, fat guy too.
Under my idea, you're a short, fat guy.
Shut up, man.
Anyway, but yeah, so
I'm
who
not
knows?
that fat.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with that when there. But okay, let's move on to NXT.
Also had a tiny little drop by about 3,000. No, they raised. They
Yeah, I
went
was gonna
up
say
by
they were
3,000.
up.
Sorry, much like Raw, up by 3,000. They moved to 700,000.
Yep, that's good.
Respectable
I
number.
mean, we
for
had
him.
Johnny Gargano drop the North American Championship match,
Good.
championship, to Bronson Reed.
No, he dropped the entire match. He was just like, you know what? I'm gonna no sell everything. I'm gonna sandbag you so hard, kid, on TV.
Yeah, he dropped the North American Championship to Bronson Reed. So, and it's still cage matchup.
Ooh.
So it'll be interesting to see there. And then we have AEW. We had 2 title matches last night.
It went down by over 100,000.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, not much past 100, but
It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, it was a story-heavy show.
Well, no, here's the thing, though, because I know a lot of people, like, were criticizing, like, people who do podcasts, like Wrestle Talk.
Like
said,
us?
Not us, but people like us.
We
like,
kiss the con's ass, so we should be getting the biggest inside scoop. Seriously, Tony, I know that you're listening. Why are we not getting the credit that we deserve?
but did you search the office yesterday after?
I did go through and I wandered the walls and all the stuff
Before or after work? Okay, so you did it after work. That's when they come and take them away.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, but a lot of people were saying because the follow-up show to Blood and Guts was not as what you would want to do after a big show.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't be surprised. That's why the ratings were down, because it just wasn't as. But mean, next week they will probably be up because we're going into Double or Nothing.
Yes, next week is the go home show to Double or Nothing,
and then the following week will probably be up again because it'll be probably in the million.
But Eddie Kingston stole the Young Bucks shoes. Seriously, why are not more people watching that?
Because no one cares. I don't know.
Those shoes are one of a kinds.
No one cares?
Look, no, the Young Bucks care.
No one cares about the Young Bucks?
I know.
But anyway.
I mean, not really, but yeah.
All right, so there you go. You have your ratings there, but it's time to move on to our main story.
Yes.
Now, our main story would have been something completely different that happened yesterday, but because something else happened the day before, so we got to talk about Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
And the failure that he is as a human being.
We were going to have a huge topic about whether or not it had been too early to put the belt on Will.
And it's been proven it was too early.
Absolutely too early.
Because he has vacated the title because he got injured in his match defending.
I thought that, he just vacated the title because out of shame.
No.
Shame upon you, Will Ospreay.
No.
Shame.
Apparently he
You're-
has a neck injury that he sustained during his title defense on May 4th against Shingo.
So if they had never pulled the trigger and put the belt on him, he would have never had this injury. Once again, proving that way too early to put the belt on him.
This was literally what I told you when I got here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can neither confirm nor deny the rumor that I stole that joke from you.
So anyway, he is going back to England to recover. So there's no timetable, so he had to vacate it.
Okay.
There's been no confirmed plans what they will be doing with the belt, when they're gonna crown it.
Well, we got Dominion coming up, don't we?
Yes, but he was supposed to defend it against Okada at a show that was not Dominion. I just can't remember what the name of it coming up.
All right.
So I'm assuming that's when Okada will probably still be part of that title matchup.
Oh, definitely.
It'll be whoever they decide to put in there.
I hope they're not going to just throw Kota Ibushi in there.
Yeah, I also don't want them to put the belt back on Okada yet either.
You're going to have to right now.
I mean, right now probably.
It would be great if if Ospreay is the one to take it off from Okada when he gets back.
True. Now there is one other person I wouldn't mind if they just kind of threw him in there.
Naito?
No.
Oh.
Jay White.
You know what? Can we get a Jay White versus Okada? Go ahead and hit up the chat. Let us know down there.
You mean the comment section?
Yeah, that too. Oh yeah, I'm not Twitch streaming. Okay.
And have Jay White win the belt again.
Yeah.
And let him actually have more than a month reign this time.
And then drop it to Okada just before when they finally have a timetable for Ospreay to come back. That way you can have Ospreay come back and take it right off from Okada.
Or you could just have Will Ospreay come back and take it off of Jay White as a babyface this time, but I don't think when he comes back he'll still be a heel.
Okay. He comes back even more heelish than before. You're like, you son of a bitch.
But I'm gonna guess they'll probably put the belt on Okada.
He sells tickets.
Yeah, he does.
Like in a way, he is the John Cena of New Japan. The man can sell tickets.
Well, let's also be honest though. It's been a while since he's had the belt, so almost 2 years since he dropped the belt.
Yeah, 2019 was the last time he held it.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a bad thing, but he was last I knew he was still injured. It's why he was out of the New Japan Cup.
Okay.
Because they wanted him to wrestle less so he could still have his big matches and work the matches the way he does. So unless he's healed up enough where they want him to do the championship tour, even still in a pandemic, and they had another breakout of COVID over there in the locker room.
Oh.
I think Jay White won't be because he's he's somewhere being quarantining right now. So
well, you can't put Jay White in there.
I don't know if he's because he got it. It's but he was apparently near. I think, but who knows? Time will tell. But yeah, so this sucks. Will do get better.
Yes.
For that, it's gonna suck because at least you may be able to see your girlfriend that you arcadoed until right her off TV because she didn't re-sign with Stardom and is apparently gonna be signing with NXT UK.
Ooh.
My thing to her is why no one gives a fuck about NXT UK.
No, please don't. I mean, unless it's literally for the paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly,
I think the only person who really makes a lot of money over in NXT UK is Vulture. But
it could just be better money than Stardom was offering.
Well, she's done everything,
and she'll be able to just basically be at home.
True. I mean, but she's been everything in Stardom. Honestly, I would say because you can get in and out now because Pac can. Why don't you just go back to AEW?
I don't know.
But that's my thing. So at least you'll be home and you'll be able to see your girlfriend more. Hopefully she won't hold a grudge against you for diamond cutting her.
No, it's the Os Cutter.
I'm purposely not saying the actual name of the move, bro. Way to ruin the joke. Anyway, our next piece of news. So Adam, what would you do if I told you a big company that just had record profits decided to release a bunch of employees with the idea of it being budget cuts. What would you say about that?
I'd say that the WWE has done another stupid cutting of people that they could have just put down as, look, we have no use for you. Goodbye. We're just going to cut you. Good luck in the future.
Yeah.
Instead, they're going to claim it, we're saving money. Really? Because last year you made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, and especially when you add up what the people were making, they were
it's not you're barely unless
it was not going to hurt their
unless
bottom
you're
line.
saying that what it's doing is saving money for the NXT production. NXT itself,
I doubt it.
their budget was getting too big, but
No.
why aren't you just going, look, we have this money, we'll throw it at that for a little while so we can keep the talent.
It's just WWE being WWE trying to make as much money as possible. And I think Vince finally realized what's the point of having all this talent around that they could go to. As long as it's not the big name talent being released.
No.
They could go and make stars somewhere else because they're the only people who actually could be stars somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, they released a bunch of people this past yesterday. And a new person was announced today before we started recording. So we'll get to that one later.
Yeah, we will.
But so according to it, there's
I've already got it up.
You got it, everyone?
Yep.
I'm trying to get
go ahead and I'll just read the names right off. Drake Wirtz.
Yes.
Jake Clemens. Alexander Wolf. Skylar Story, a.k.a. Brandy Lauren.
She was part of TNA.
Okay.
So.
Ezra Judge. Is it better known as? Is that what's in the brackets?
Yeah, that's what they were known as.
EJ Naduka. Jessamine Duke.
Part of the Four Horsewomen. MMA Four Horsewomen.
For crying. Vanessa Bourne. And Kativa Devi. Devi.
And those were,
Alexander Wolf is a name that I've heard of.
Well, that's because he was part of Sanity. He was
what?
also
What group?
Yeah, I know. He was also part of Imperium, of Vulture.
Yeah.
He literally just wrestled on NXT on Tuesday, and got kicked out of Imperium, and now he got released.
Wow. Just what a punch to the balls. It's not even a kick. At least a kick, you kind of go, okay, if I jump a little. No, this is like a straight jab, right to the balls, right to the dick.
Yeah. So
that's just mean.
Not all of them are wrestlers too. There was a few wrestlers. Who was the
Jake Clemens?
Jake Clemens. I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think this is...
Yeah, that's not... I'm sorry. WWE chooses, like, the worst times and then, like, most corporate reasoning to fire people. Like, they don't just come out and say, look, we had nothing for them, so we just released them. They're like, oh, we did it as a money-saving feature. Motherfucker... guys, you know, one of them probably only was making $60,000 that year. At the most.
What was the roughly the top one? Drake
Wirtz. WUERTZ.
I think this is the guy. I'm pretty sure he was the guy. I can't remember.
I know one of them's a ref.
Okay, so basically the reason why I'm looking up is one of the controversial refs that's been making headlines the last few months, who was barred from entering the Capital Wrestling Alliance a few times, is finally the one who got fired. And a lot of people were saying he was he brought his very conservative political views to work. He made jokes about talent going to, like 12 talent, and talked about his behavior and his work, how he's talked about people.
Wow.
And when the whole Black Lives Matter movements and the riots and all that, and Triple H talked to the talent saying everyone's a welcome Creed nation, when all religions were there, he packed his stuff up and walked out. He was also the referee a few weeks ago where he did a Skype call to Orlando's board debating about the mask mandate, and he's passionately said masks are helping sexual what is it?
Sexual deviance?
No, it was allowing for sex traders and all that, and training that. So we have to get away from that. Very passionate, and you can see in the video he has his NXT ref shirt on, and he did it backstage.
Oh, that is just a level of crazy.
Yeah, he's like a lot of people like I can't remember.
Is it Save the Children guy?
Yeah, like he was like getting like really bad. Like he was banned for multiple times for behavior. Like a lot of people didn't feel safe around him.
Probably, yeah.
So, there was a belief that the reason why he still had a job after all this stuff that's happened was because of his beliefs. Some people believed. But now he's been officially released. I cannot remember. I think it was Drake, but I'm not sure.
In a way, yes. In a way, no.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it is. It is because of his political beliefs. But the reason I'm saying no at the same time is no. It's because of what you went about expressing those political beliefs. Like, it's not the political beliefs themselves, it's how you express them. Like, you just brought controversy to a corporation that is trying to be kid and family friendly.
Yes.
They are trying to hit every good note every corporation can possibly do, which is why you have the anti-bullying, you have LGBTQ and BLM support.
Yeah.
You have all of that because that is humanitarian. They consider it humanitarian outreach.
It was Drake.
Okay.
Who was the ref.
And yes, if you have these, that's cool. Your corporation that you work with has said that this is our corporate image. Do not tarnish this. By expressing those beliefs, you are tarnishing that image. But they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like you can say that it's because of that all you want, and they'll just be like, no, it's because you became a disturbance in the workforce.
Yeah, and people were saying they didn't feel safe about you
because
exactly. of how he was expressing his. Yeah, if you want to know more, look it up. There's a big. I saw an article, I think on Wrestling Inc. that really kind of dove into a lot of things, about like what he was going on.
Yeah,
and what led to this. So, but yeah, but again, more people are gone because of budget cuts. WWE, goddamn it,
quote unquote budget cuts.
Yep. So, but some of these talent might be the best thing that could happen for them. Like Tay Conti was released this time last year.
Yes,
and she's thriving in AEW.
Absolutely thriving outside the company.
I actually read an article on Wrestling Inc. where she talked about how it came about. And Adam, who do you think reached out from AEW to her? Just take a guess. Who do you think?
Well, I mean, she's in the women's division. The obvious choice is, Kenny Omega. I mean,
nope.
No. Okay.
Eventually, but nope.
I mean, you could look at her best friend in AEW, Anna.
They met in AEW, so they didn't know each other yet.
Who else is maybe Britt Baker, because she saw Tay Conti's work while her boyfriend or husband boyfriend Adam Cole, while visiting Adam Cole. Maybe no. Okay,
you give up. Or are you thirsty for more?
Matt Hardy?
No. It
Chris
was
Jericho?
It was Luchasaurus, of all people, reached out to her.
I'm sorry. One of the most crazy gimmicks of all time?
Yes.
A luchador dinosaur, 65 million year old.
Yes.
With 2 PhDs.
Yes. Reached out to her. somehow Kenny got linked onto a photo of clip on her Twitter. He watched it, got in touch with her, wanted her number to get in touch. Luchasaurus then backed that up, saying Kenny saw your clip, liked it, he wants your number. Eventually got invited to come out for some filming to meet Brandy, Tony, Cody, and all that. And she said she was a little nervous, but within 5 minutes she saw how different it was because she wasn't working. When she was released, she hadn't been working at all, and she's like, I like wrestling, but she questioned if she wanted to do it, but she's like, no, I love wrestling. And then she saw how
I want to work.
Then she's like, she got there and saw that, and she just hit it off with a bunch of people. Anna just appeared next to her while she was there and said, "Oh, you're pretty.
You're my best friend."
And
now.
it's just like, "Oh, you are too." And they basically were next to each other all day. They invited her for the women's tag tournament they were doing, and then after that, soon after that, she found out she's gonna be teaming with Anna. And because they already hit it off.
You know that somebody backstage went, they look like they're hitting it off.
Put them together.
Way, like, two incredibly beautiful women.
Yes.
Put them together as a tag team.
For this, we're in the tournament. Put them together.
Just do it.
Yeah. And then after that, she got signed, and she wasn't expecting it.
Because everyone knows that story in wrestling as a tag team. They were just like, yeah, so I was talking with this guy for like a couple of weeks in the backstage, and we were hitting it off as good friends, but we just worked together. I had only been there for 2 weeks. He had been there for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And they went, you two are a tag team tonight, and went, all right. Well, turns out 20 years later, he's the godfather to both my kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, jeez.
Yeah. So it's like just interesting, and she's thriving there. I mean, she had won her best matchup against Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's World Championship.
Yep.
And it's like she didn't win it, but like if they decided to put the belt on her, it wouldn't have been a bad thing. But the plans are clearly that she's going to put it on Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It'll be either Tay Conti or it's going to be Thunder Rosa who takes the belt off of Britt. I would be okay with either one, but I really want it to be Tay Conti.
You ready for the ultimate swerve?
Sure.
It's Abaddon.
No.
Abaddon takes it off from her.
God, no.
Even though I do like Abaddon as a person, like
the
character is weird.
It's just too.
But it's like Boogeyman level weird. Where
no,
you're just like,
no, it's not. No, it's not. Because Boogeyman level weird has comedy base to it. She's just a zombie, a real zombie.
No, she's dead.
Okay, she's dead.
Yeah,
a zombie.
No, zombies are undead. They're resurrected.
Whatever, but no, it's just no.
They're a post-death life.
But anyway, moving on to our next big story that also broke this week.
Hey, speaking of AEW,
what about it?
They've got a second show.
Yeah,
it's going to be on Friday night.
That was going to be the next big thing I was transitioning to.
Oh,
moron!
God, I'm so sorry.
Anyway, yes, we had some big news break about Tony Khan renegotiating their contract with TNT and Warner Media and all that.
Turner, Warner Media.
Yeah. So, because we already knew about the second show coming, we now have a timetable, the date, and the name. It will be AEW Rampage. It will be on Friday night at 10 p.m. So it will not go up against SmackDown.
Exactly. It'll be right after SmackDown.
Yep. On TNT. It's a 1-hour show. It will be equivalent to Dynamite. This is not like another show like on the YouTube channels Dark and Elevation.
So it's WCW Thunder. All right, they are literally copying WCW.
No, they're copying WWE, who copied WCW.
No, by having a second show.
Yeah,
and having their second show start off as a shorter show.
No, Thunder was 2 hours.
Thunder was 2 hours as well.
It started out as 2 hours.
I know. SmackDown
was 2 hours.
Holy shit! Yeah, it was. And SmackDown was actually the response to Thunder.
Yeah, kind of. I think they were kind of building towards it anyway.
Yeah, both. You could see that everyone was starting to set up a second show.
I think they started seeing because they had so much talent, and it was like another way to get more people over. And
that's Oddly enough, that's actually how WWE saw it. WCW went, I mean, we have too many guys that can only work on Mondays.
Oh, no, that's not how that Thunder came about. It was literally like, oh, you guys are doing good. You're going to do 2 hours on Thursday on TBS. And Bischoff went like, I don't want that. He's like, well, we're going to do it. And then he had to figure out how to do it, how to work it. And that's when he started to decide, okay, what if I can do 2 different brands where the NWO take over Nitro?
Yeah.
And then
the weird part is the NWO did not fully take over Nitro, but they did take over Nitro, and it got super stale.
But that's because he was trying to get more people into the NWO to fluster their numbers so they could do those 2 separate brands.
Right.
So he was going to try to do the first brand extension. And so, but that's how that one came around. But it'll be interesting to see how this comes off. But also part of this news we know is that in 2022, AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage will be moving to TBS.
Yes. And if I remember correctly, TBS has a larger market than TNT.
I think so. But no one knows for sure why they're moving it. But I believe it has to do with Warner Media getting some hockey contracts that would usually run on Wednesday nights normally.
That's actually I did see that one. I was like, oh yeah, that would suck.
So the part of that also would be a bigger audience. But they're not done with TNT though.
I'm sorry, what?
They are going to have once a quarter a super show on TNT. What night we don't know. It has not been announced what night.
Probably Wednesday.
No. It could be a Saturday. It could be who knows? It's just no one's locked on when they're going to do this. It's just that it will happen one super show card a quarter on TNT.
They're doing the super cards almost once a quarter now.
Yeah, so basically your winners are coming episode, your bash,
Blood and Guts,
your beach bash, could be like that. Could be the ones. A lot of people are referring to this as WCW's Clash of the Champions, type thing that they used to do, but that was on TBS. But this is now on TNT.
I mean, whatever.
Interesting to see there. And this new renegotiation is supposedly worth $10 million plus dollars. Like $10 million is like the limit, the small, but some estimate it could be up to almost just under $100 million.
Wow.
In revenue for AEW. Basically, they're flush with a lot more money now.
Nice.
Basically, expand. A lot of people were saying, are referring to this with the money they're getting from this deal. They could afford to reach out to get, I don't know, someone like a Brock Lesnar or a Daniel Bryan.
Okay, Bryan.
No. Before
Daniel Bryan, yes. Brock Lesnar, no.
It's been come out that I think it was Meltzer who's pointed out that they would not give him the kind of capital to get a Brock Lesnar.
Good.
Get Brock Lesnar. But definitely a Daniel Bryan if he chose to come in.
Or Phil Brooks. Just saying.
Because he said a big bag of money is another one way to get him to come in.
Exactly. I mean, also, can you imagine they finally do the next Double or Nothing? An All Out that officially in Chicago.
Oh yeah, it'll be All Out because they do Chicago.
Exactly. All Out. They finally get to Chicago. It's 2022. Yep. They sadly can't do it this year. Chicago, for some strange reason, in my universe, is off the books.
Sure. Why not?
They try. They really try. Instead, they do it at the Daily Place. Okay, no big deal. All Out Daily Place.
The fact that they're starting touring in July, yeah. Anyway, go on.
It's Dallas. They get to do it in Dallas this year.
Fine.
Because Texas.
Because Texas.
Yeah. But 2022, they do it. The company is flush with money right now. And they're like, main event for the AEW Championship. I don't care who's in it. There's a mystery special guest referee.
It's CM Punk.
It's CM Punk. And he screws over the champion. Basically straight up gives the championship to the opponent.
Screws over Hangman Page to let Kenny Omega retain the championship
Oh yeah,
he never lost. And he's still holding
he
for over a year.
The GTS on Adam on Page,
and then looks at the camera and then tells Kenta from New Japan to come get some.
Oh no, and then stares Kenny into the corner, and at the as he's grabs the belt and just shoves it into Kenny's chest and pushes Kenny all the way back to the corner, and then with the camera right behind Kenny, just literally whispers into his ear, "I'm coming for you."
But I have some unfinished business in Japan first.
Doesn't say anything else. Just goes, "I'm coming for you," and walks out.
It's like, no, he just says, "You're on the list." And then as he walks out, he's saying, Kenta.
Stop it.
I just want to see Kenta and CM Punk go at it.
They team up, actually.
I want to see them wrestle each other.
Turns out, Phil Brooks is Bullet Club.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this overall will affect. But it'll be great to see that almost 2 years to when Dynamite started, we're finally going to get the second show. But
which honestly is a quick turnaround.
Yeah, but also before, this is not part of the new deal. This was part of the one that they signed back in January 2020. So they've been working on developing this for this time, which is awesome. So it'll be
shit. These guys are pumping out content.
Yeah.
I mean, just the wrestling alone. You have Dynamite. Mm-hmm. You've got Dark. You've got Elevation.
Yep.
Now you're gonna have Rampage.
Yep.
That's 4 wrestling shows. Inside 2 years.
I want to see them bring a third tier title in. It's called the Rampage Championship.
I'll take it. You have, and then just everyone else's presence. Kip Sabian and Miro are Twitch streamers.
Yep.
You've got BTE.
Yep.
You've got
that annoying little munchkin dude in Inner Circle, Sammy Guevara streaming stuff.
Sammy,
I love Sammy.
Sammy Guevara's vlog.
Yeah.
His channel.
Yep.
They have accepted, honestly, AEW just falls into this wonderful category of being like, no, see, here's the thing. We're going to connect with you guys.
Yes.
And you're going to absolutely love, and you're going to realize that some people that are kayfabe on these wrestling shows and the real life, not always that far off.
Yeah.
But you know where kayfabe is.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations, Miro, for giving credit to Jesus Christ to allow you to just to kill people.
Yes, of course.
So, but it was a big story. It'll be interesting how this all folds out. I'm just waiting the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's going to be that long. I think probably in the next year, 2 years, we'll get the official announcement that they're going to turn Dark and Elevation into developmental.
Oh, yeah.
An official developmental. They'll introduce championships in there.
Yeah.
And all that. And it doesn't mean those people won't show up on Dynamite to work
and the probably the official show will be Dark.
Yeah.
And the Elevation will be like the developmental of developmental. The way that Dark is treated with Dynamite right now is that's what Elevation will be to Dark.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but maybe they won't have the traditional developmental like they have, like WWE does. I think they should. Not necessarily. They don't have to make it necessarily its own company.
No.
But like introducing a Dark Championship, which only is defended only on AEW Dark on YouTube.
Yes.
Now at a pay-per-view or one of these super shows, you can do they can defend the title, but it's recorded and aired on YouTube.
Yes.
It's not ever on the main card. They still defend it. It's like we're gonna be having a match.
It's literally part of the Dark matches.
It's just like we're having a super show, our pay-per-view for Dark, the same night as the pay-per-view Double or Nothing or whatever. But here's the thing: it's not the pre-show. It's before the pre-show. It's on YouTube, and it's not gonna have like a full card. It's gonna be like 2 matches.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, I mean, basically you could have that's the pre-show.
No. Well, it'd be like a pre-show, but before you literally it'd be the pre-show, but then you had that last 30 minutes that they do. It's really the pre-show.
Okay.
Where they'll have a match, but they're also hyping up the card.
Oh yeah.
but that pre-show matchup is the buy-in, but it's an AEW talent, big talent wrestling, not your developmental type show. Who knows? Only time will tell. All right, what's next on the docket? I can't remember what else we had left.
The mystery of who owns Up Up Down Down has been solved.
Well, yeah, Elijah Wood owns that. Duh.
No.
Really?
Yeah. It's Xavier Wood, not Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Oh, yeah, Elijah Wood was someone else. Xavier Wood. So
no, Frodo doesn't own it. Okay, buddy.
So Kofi Kingston owns it then.
No,
Big E?
the WWE. I mean, it is the Big E.
It can't be. That can't be right.
It is.
Yes, it is. Xavier Wood has come out and saying that yes, he does not own Up Down Down. WWE has always owned it, which is why he can still stream on Twitter because it's part of WWE owned.
Yeah.
If it wasn't owned by them, then basically their whole thing, he wouldn't be able to
you have to turn it over to them and
all that.
All of that stuff. And they probably would have squashed it anyway.
So,
but yes, he doesn't own it. I swear, like, Xavier Woods is one of the few guys. I can't wait to actually check out G4 again and see how much content he's actually part of.
Yeah.
Because, man, this dude is setting himself up to, like, at some point in the relatively near future, be able to just look at the WWE and go, catch up with you later, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this geeky stuff for a while. And they're like, what? And then come back a year or two later and just be like, can I do a year run? And they're like, we'll sign you in for a year run, okay?
Or realize that WWE sucks and go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes.
Austin Creed was used relatively well within TNA.
Sort of.
I mean, he was also still young.
Yeah, he was still young and still learning, so...
But for somebody who was still green like that in TNA, used pretty well.
Yeah. All right, what's next on the docket?
Oh, dude, you told me this, and I purposely didn't write it down.
What?
John Moxley's kid's name.
Oh yeah, they revealed what they're going.
Renee and John
have revealed their daughter's name.
Their daughter's name.
Yes, and their name shall be
Nora. I mean, most likely it's a family name.
Maybe
it's someone's grandma.
But really, Nora?
It's Renee's grandma. Or, I mean, actually, it would not surprise me if it was actually John's, like, grandma.
John doesn't like his family, apparently. Well, maybe his immediate family. I don't know.
It's like, he's like, no, I absolutely was in love with my grandmother. She's been dead for 30 years, but
Nora, really?
Yes.
It rhymes with Dora, and we all know Dora is an explorer. That's just dumb.
Nora.
No.
The not explorer.
Yeah. I don't really like it, but hey, if they want that, great. It's not an Emily, for sure.
Yeah. Nora the Stormer from Boston.
No.
She's gonna storm all over you.
No.
You know, somebody's
Absolutely
gonna call
not.
her that. No.
No. And next thing we know, we're gonna get a knock on the door. And it's
Nora
gonna be John
Moxley.
It's gonna be John Moxley going like, "What do you say about my daughter's name?" It's like he didn't like it. And he's like, "No, it was
Fireball."
and then he just picks you up.
Fireball.
He just grabs you and he puts a paradigm shift right through this hardwood table.
Stares at me for a little while and I just go, you know what? I'm gonna try it. And puts me into a paradigm shift.
Yep.
Hits me with a death driver. I'm like,
no,
well, I mean, I tried.
He hits the paradigm shift, then does the Death Rider, which is the same move, but he just
one lifts a little bit more of an angle.
No, it's literally they call it the same thing. It's just basically where you are differently. Like the I think the paradigm shift is AEW and the Death Rider is New Japan. That's what I would say is like no, the Death Rider is more elevated.
Yeah. I have to use that in New Japan because, well, I mean,
it's
look at their talent.
Yeah.
I don't use it here because I don't have to.
Unless my opponent's really, really strong, then I'll do I'll raise them up.
And I have seen that there is that element in AEW against certain people. Brody Lee.
Yeah.
Wait, did he face? No, he didn't face. Yes, he did. He had a match against Brody for the championship.
Yeah, duh.
And he did hit. I think they actually call a Death Rider in that one.
Yeah, they were calling it different things at different times.
Because he hits a low paradigm shift, a quick one. Like, I don't think Brody even left his feet. And then he does hit one where he Brody kicks up and he hits it.
Yeah, they've been calling it the Death Rider for a different thing, but they've specifically been over the last year for the most part calling it the paradigm shift. So I think it's because he used Death Rider in New Japan. Who knows? Whatever it is, if there is a difference, who knows? But we think there should be. Obviously, should be, and it should be the Death Rider's more elevated one. But
there's more effort put into it.
But the main thing is, the more important thing is that he shows up and he does it to you, even though I'm the one who said I didn't like it.
I do,
and you somehow did not figure out how to point out that I'm lying.
Yeah,
in the process.
I do love I'm just going to show some love to John here for a second. I do love the fact that he is an amalgamation of, character-wise, of like all the greats of hardcore deathmatch people. Like, he wears the leather jacket, and I forget the Japanese gentleman. The guy who basically is the greatest deathmatch wrestler. Does the double arm DDT.
Yep.
Mick Foley.
Though I liked when he did the forward bulldog, like almost DDT. It's where bulldog stance, but he drops you on the top of your head.
It's a spike. I remember.
Yeah, I prefer when he switched it over. I was like, why? I liked it so much better. But for Moxie, it makes more sense for that because it's part of more of the Death Rider.
I know that he does have an element of Terry Funk. I think that's actually the Crazy.
He stole that leather jacket idea from Alex Wright from WCW.
No. No.
Yes.
No. So like he really is, even though we're in an era where hardcore wrestlers aren't really at the level that they used to be.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but he's able to still be that hardcore wrestler in a generation where work rate and in-ring flash talent is more looked upon. And he's like, yeah, but I can smash light bulbs.
Yeah, he's going to actually be facing Nick Gage soon.
Holy crap.
So
I mean, the guy have you ever seen the video of him putting Brian Alvarez's career to death?
No.
It's hilarious.
Don't care. But yeah, so anyway, John and Renee, I guess
Nora,
good for you for picking the name Nora. Whatever. You had your reasons, I'm assuming. What's the next thing on the docket?
Why not call her John? Just call her John. She's a girl named John. It's better than a boy named Sue.
No. There's one more thing, I think.
Bro. Zombies.
Oh, yeah, zombies.
Zombies.
Really?
Right. They're okay.
Oh, God.
So, I don't like it. For me, it's because there needs to be a level of kayfabe that you accept within this television program that you're giving to us. And the level of kayfabe that we as an audience have accepted is that your use of supernatural, and I'm talking to the WWE here.
Of course.
Just going to let them know that your use of supernatural has usually centered around a storyline or a character. Undertaker.
So if you're criticizing zombies, you're criticizing the Undertaker because he was a zombie.
No, I'm not.
He was undead.
Well, yes, I know. I get that.
So he was a zombie. So how dare you?
But he wasn't like killing people, eating them.
And whatever. This was a tie-in to the Army of Dead movie.
Oh no, I get that.
Yeah, no.
I absolutely get that.
And it was just
what they did.
I know.
The selling of the announcers running away from them.
Yeah.
The Miz being quote unquote killed, eaten by zombies, which by the way, the only way that you can explain this is either to completely ignore the standard rules of zombies, which is if a zombie bites you, you are turning into a zombie.
Yep.
By having Miz come back in after his rehab.
Yep, because he got injured.
And absolutely nothing's wrong with him. Or you have to go, all of that was real, according to our story, and he was bitten, which means that he comes back as a zombie.
It's the WWE. They're going to ignore it.
I know they are, which makes the entire thing that more ridiculous. Now, if they had a bunch of people backstage wandering through, and you're like, was that a zombie?
No, nothing.
Stuff like that.
Nothing was going to work. Anyway, and it's a bad idea when Batista, the star of the Army of Dead, someone tweeted at him, he's like, do you think I fucking booked that shit?
No, that wasn't me.
Shouldn't you be tweeting Vince?
Yes.
Basically bashing.
Also, the fact that the stipulation of a zombie... zombie lumberjack match made no sense to what was going on between Damian Priest and Miz in the first place.
But when is anything that the stipulation ties into?
Sometimes it kind of makes some sense.
Sometimes.
But this was literally like, hey, so we just got paid $5 million to add zombies into this.
Yeah.
So that lumberjack thing, that's now all zombies.
We'll get NXT stars to do it.
Yeah, yes, that's another thing.
No, I'm done with zombies.
Like, there are actually recognizable NXT stars that were dressed up as these zombies. Are they zombies now? Is that what's going on here? Is that what is that the story you're telling us, WWE?
You understand that WWE doesn't care. They got money.
I know.
And they'll just ignore that it ever happened.
And yes, by Monday, all of it was ignored.
No, they acknowledged it.
That he was eaten by zombies?
Yeah, because they had to recap the recap the match. It'll be in about.
Or did they say that he was and
he was attacked by zombies? But they'll ignore within a week or two. They'll just ignore it.
Zombies, bro.
So
zombies.
We have one more story, and this one ties into the releases because there was one release that we mentioned that happened today, as we're the day of recording Thursday, that. Everyone's is breaking. It's breaking news. So and so was released, and
I'm surprised it hasn't happened earlier.
We specifically put it at the end as an insult because this release is almost a year too late.
It's an afterthought.
It's Velveteen Dream has officially been released from WWE NXT, and this should have happened a year ago.
Oh yes, yes.
And they hung on to him, trying to hope that this would work. They held him off TV for a while because he was injured. Maybe he was recovering some nagging injuries, but and then he comes back, has a match in December, and then all of a sudden he disappears again. After people are saying, "Oh, he's still working for you. You're hiding a potential guy who sent naked photos to a minor. A guy who was wanted for potentially breaking a car and running away from a child." Now we don't know if any of this, if he actually did send the thing, but when you have a bunch of things coming out around the same time, it just doesn't paint
it's not a good picture.
No, and the fact that you say we looked into it and you never once interviewed the people who made the claims,
right, says
you didn't really look into it.
Not at all.
So this is overdue. It's sad because Velveteen Dream had a huge career ahead of him, because of how good he just got over the NXT universe when he got there.
Yep.
He could have been basically the pinnacle of what you point to your developmental can do with someone who has no wrestling talent.
Yes.
Because that's what he was. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the indies do with him, if they'll sign him. Bring him in for stuff.
If they do.
But yeah, this was overdue. So I don't care. that he was. It's nice to know officially he is released, but at the same time, it should have been done a year ago. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for you today. So, liking on this video, you know you want to. You made it to the end of how long is this?
An hour.
An hour
Ish.
How dare you not give me the thumbs up? Give me the warning at 45 minutes. How dare you?
We were talking.
How dare you? Anyway, you've been listening for an hour. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought of it. What do you think of Velveteen Dream being released? What do you think of the other people who got released? Comment down below on that one. And to save time to find out when new Zop gaming content goes live, more specifically, as the buckle turns, fuck Nua.
No. Check out Nua.
Fuck Nua. Why don't you just go and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring the bell.
Ding! Ding!
And make sure that bell is the one that turns on all notifications so you know when all the content goes live.
Damn
fuck
right.
Nua.
No.
Fuck Nua. And
We got Alpaca Bowl 2 coming up.
fuck Nua. Fuck the Alpaca Bowl. Fuck you. Your face get bent.